Wanted to talk about one of the first weapons we use, which is the staff. In Japanese, they tend to call it bow staff, so sometimes you'll hear that. In Korean, we call it a bong, B-O-N-G. So this is bong, and bong hung ilbu, bong hung ibu, bong hung sambu are the three staff forms you'll have to learn. Starting at brown belt, you can begin to compete with bong hung ilbu, and then testing Bong Hung Ilbu starts at red belt. So red belt with a stripe, and then actually we skip blue belt, and you learn Bong Hung Sambu as a first degree black belt. So a few little basics with this. We always walk around with it straight up and down. Many times you'll see it tucked behind the right arm, so kind of up behind the shoulder there. That way you don't walk around and accidentally whack somebody. This staff is 6 feet tall, which is just a smidgen tall for me. I normally like them about eyebrow level, so this is about 4, 5, 6 inches too long for me. My preferred one, but it can be used. What's nice about the 6 foot one is I've been able to go to Walmart and I can walk around like this and keep my social distance. That lasted until the police were called. Anyways, so we walk around with it up. Traditionally, it is tucked behind the arm here. And this is kind of our ready, relaxed stance. When we go to chitty up, our feet, left foot comes to right foot, left hand comes to our side. This just is here. If I had been relaxing just here and we went to chitty up, I would slide my hand down till it's just past the halfway point, pick it up, the top will twist forward, spin under as I come to attention here. So again, if I was relaxed and someone said, chitty up, come there. Then when we go to tune B from here, I'm going to pull it out slightly, let it come across in front to the left. It comes around, and when it gets up to about eye level, I pick up my left hand, left foot, come down, Tang Soo. There's my Chumbi stance. So from behind, if I was relaxed, just chilling, and someone said, chitty up, come here, come to there. When I go to Chumbi, comes across to my left, comes up to my chest, comes down, Tang Soo. In a normal, when I'm not explaining it, I try to have my foot and my hands stop moving at the same time. Tang Soo. So we try to start everything and stop everything at the same time. And then when I go back, left hand comes down, I let go, it tucks up behind the right arm, and I come back to chitty up, and then kung yet. You notice when I kung yet, I try to leave the staff pointed straight up. There. Otherwise, I can hit someone behind me, hit someone in front of me. It's just not good. So we leave it straight up and we bow there. This video is going to be some of the basics. So that's how we walk around, come to attention, and go to Chumbi with it. So from Chumbi, a lot of times we start with some warm-ups. And I am not an expert at this. We have some people that do this much better than me, and you can find people online that do it much better than me. But this is what we do in our classes and how I teach it. The first one I'm going to show you is just a one-hand figure eight. So grab it right in the middle. My other hand is up to protect my face. Feet are fairly close together. And I take, in this case, what's pointing to the left, or my thumb side, and I'm going to take that, point it down, let it circle around, and then I cross in front, circle around, cross in front, letting that thumb point the direction. Now, when I do this, I don't want my thumb sticking out, just like when we do empty hand things. So I'm going to leave it tucked in, but that's the idea of how to get it started. And then as you get better, you can begin to let these fingers loosen a little bit, but never come completely off. Just loosen a little bit, and that then allows for a little more wrist twist and a little more speed. And if you get it going fast enough, you can hear it whoosh. Again, I'm not letting go, I'm letting the wrist work. Some people will do the same figure eight, almost with their arms straight out in front of them. And you can bounce it off your elbow. Happens to all of us here in front. Then let me spin around and do this from behind. So if I have it in my right hand, I start pointing down to my left, circle up and around, come down to the right. Big motion here, just trying to learn the mechanics. As with anything, practice makes permanent. And with practice, 1,000 repetitions, you'll be much faster. My hips are still in it. They're still twisting, even though I'm using a weapon. Our power comes from our waist and our hips. Now if I take it to my left hand, I start, again, I point towards my thumb. Thumb points down to the right, comes up, and then down to the left, come up, down to the right, and that is your one hand figure eight with your left hand. From behind, down to the right, let it circle or come around, down to the left, circling, making an X or a cross, and that's my figure eight. I have a circle on this side, I cross in the middle, circle on the right side now, cross in the middle. And that is the single hand figure eight. So from this, we also have a two-hand figure eight. So now I take my hands about like I would be for Chumbi, maybe a little bit wider out. The closer I am, the faster I can spin things. The further out I am, the more control. So it's a balance. Some people will say shoulder width. I like them a little bit less than shoulder width. But two hand, I'm going to start, right hand comes up, crosses in front, and this is where it gets tricky, is my left hand is tucked under my right arm, comes down and across, then I flip it, and now my left hand comes down and across, then I flip it, and my right comes down, left crossing down, right crossing down. This is probably easier from behind, so let me spin around. So from Chumbi, start here, come down to my left, left hand comes up, crosses, comes down on the right, right hand comes up, cross and down, left hand up, cross down, right hand up, cross down, cross, 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 cross. And this is our two-hand figure eight. There is a reverse two-hand figure eight. So this time I start with my left hand down, let it come up to the left side, kind of keep it moving, circle it around. Right hand starts low, and I come up to the right side, keep that circle going, start low, go up, circle, low to up, low to up, and this is a reverse figure eight. One of the other basic motions we have is just spinning the staff. And you'll grab it near the middle, and there's a couple of schools of thought on this. This is how I was taught and how I do it. I'm going to take it, I have it in my right hand, I'm going to let it roll, and it's going to fall out. And I catch it with my left, make a half a spin, catch it back with the right, rolling it to my right. My wrist only goes so far and it drops, and I catch it, half, catch again with my right. Now, I don't really drop it. As it's about to roll out, I shoot my left hand in and grab it. So from behind, and I'll try to do this to the side of my body, I roll it, comes out, catch it with the left, does a half a turn of the wrist, catch it with the right, roll it, catch, half a turn, and I spin it here. Now once you've got this right hand, then you also need to do left hand. It rolls out my left thumb, right catches it, half a turn, grab it, twirl, catch. And then once you have the spin, you can start to do things where you mix it up, where you spin, just letting go of each time, almost like a figure eight. You can work on going behind you, all fun things you can do just as warm-ups with our bong. So these are the basics. Now, if you hold on just a second, I'm going to show you what to do if you don't happen to have one of these, or if you're in a tighter spot. If you are in Tang Soo Do, you should have a belt. So I've taken my belt, folded it in half, and that'll work. A little floppy for me, so I usually fold it in half again. And now I have my my staff, but it's my belt. Now I can try to do some of those basic turns. The one hand stuff doesn't work very well, but two hand does. And I can begin just to learn the motions. And I'm not taking up much space. And if I hit somebody or something with one of these, it might sting if it slaps them, but it's not going to really hurt them. So just like what I did with the staff, I can still do the motions. This works primarily if I'm doing two-handed things. And when we get into the basic techniques, the low block, middle block, and high block, and the forms, this will help if you have a tight spot. Or if you don't have a staff or a stick that you can use. Uh, if you don't have a belt, I grab just a hand towel. Again, the idea is I don't want to be letting go and doing things. I want my hands to always be in this position. Now this looks a little bit sillier to my neighbors than if I have a staff, but that's okay. They're used to me doing weird things in my backyard with my weapons. Plus I can learn to pop and snap with it, not how to use that. So this is just a couple of things you can do. Now when we get into the basic techniques, low block, middle block, high block, and you start working the staff form, this will teach you the motions. You'll be able to do all three with just a towel or your belt. If you have the room and you have a stick, use that. But this is just an improvised solution for what you may have right now. I used to train with a black belt who had to quit because of some hip issues, but he would bring a different stick to class every night. I know at the time he worked for the street department, and we never knew what he was going to walk in with. But he wanted to train with not a perfect cylinder staff type weapon, but he wanted to be proficient with everything because he never knew what he might pick up if he had to use it to defend himself. Now, I don't think I'm probably going to have to pick up a broom or a mop or some big stick somewhere to defend myself, but I might. And this also begins to teach some of the basics of how to use a weapon. So I hope you found this entertaining. As far as the rest of your homework, make sure you are doing your one steps, your forms, do a good warm up, cool down, and work through any of the basics. They should all the basic blocks and all the basic kicks should be uploaded now. So pick and choose from those and practice some on your own. Tang Soo.